from Nashville, Tennessee. It's the Three. And here's your host, Laura Harris-Smith.
Hi everybody, I'm Laura Harris-Smith and welcome to The Three. We've got an exciting guest today. You probably already know him. His name is Stacey David. He actually has a television show known as America's Gearhead, but the show is called Gears, 16 million viewers worldwide. You're gonna see there's hardly anything this guy doesn't have his hands in. He has so many talents. God is using him in ways that I'm blown away by because of the audiences that God is giving him to take his unique message, which he's the guy that you want in your garage fixing your car, but more than anything, he's the guy that you want in your life motivating you to make your dreams come true. Stacey, welcome to The Three.
Well, thank you. It's great to be here.
I am so we have a mutual friend,
yes.
One of our camera guys, Mark Ramey.
Yes, Mark.
And evidently,
he's behind the camera.
He's behind the camera. I've heard so many years about you, and evidently you about me, and now here we are.
Yes.
So here's what I did not know. I think I underestimated. So, like, God poured out so many different gifts on you, but I see a thread. I think you are very pastoral. You have this heart to build people up, to edify people.
Yeah.
But you do it in a garage. Well, you have a huge set,
with
but
cars.
You do it with cars. And tell us about Gears.
Well, it's a how-to show. It's not a reality show, and that was really important because reality shows come and go, and they're fake.
Right.
You know, the whole idea was really lucky to fall into the how-to format when I started doing trucks, and it's about teaching people, and it's about teaching people about the automotive lifestyle, and it's about teaching people the skills that you need to build something to excellence, which is all biblical principles, but and people don't even realize that. You know, you want to encourage people to do something great.
Yes.
To the best of their ability.
To the best of their abilities. Yeah. And that's what I like, how practical it is what you do. But you've had 2 national hit TV shows. Tell us about the other one.
Well, the first one was Trucks, and on that one,
I see, okay.
Yeah, the first one was Trucks, and I did that for 7 years.
Right.
And how I get into that, I basically answered an ad in the newspaper.
Are you kidding?
Well, there's a whole story about that, though, because when I talk about that, you know, I literally answered an ad in the paper, and people are like, man, you're so lucky. It's a lucky deal. And it's like, no, because when you look at the story, I had a football coach who used to go onto the chalkboard before every game and write, there is no such thing as luck.
Good.
Luck is when preparation meets opportunity. And of course, we're all...
I like that.
Yeah, well, we're all looking at that going, come on, coach, whatever. But I never forgot it.
Right.
Because first of all, I really respected him. He was one of those coaches that you wanted to please. And the thing is, so for years, I was in the music industry, so I was in front of cameras all the time.
Okay.
And then I did some commercials and things like that, but I was also in the garage building cars and taking pictures and doing all this stuff.
But not as you were just doing it because you like to do it?
I did it, and I did it for money. I had my own shop.
Okay.
So,
okay.
yeah, the Rattle Trap was the name of the shop.
All
so
right.
I was doing that. It started with just building cool stuff that I liked.
That is amazing.
But then it turned into, I was actually making more money building cars than I was in the music industry, which
course you were.
guys all know how that goes. You know, the music industry is what it is.
Yes, it is. It is.
But
what do you call a songwriter in Nashville? A waiter.
Yeah, hey, waiter.
Yeah. Go ahead.
And I've heard banjo players or fiddle players.
Right. Actor, New York. I think that's an old joke. Sorry. Continue.
No, it's a great one, though. It's a lot of truth to that. But anyway, so when I showed up, it came out as an ad in the paper, and I was working at Opryland, you know, doing a cappella singing thing. You know, I wanted to do something with cars. Yeah. You know, I had been in the music business as a pro for 25 years, and I love music. But I got tired of it. I was ready to do something else. And the car thing is, I was born, and then there was car. And then the guitar. You know, it was just, I've always just...
Wow.
And it was to the point, my dad used to say, you need to quit working on those cars so much. You need to fall back on that music stuff. You know?
Wait.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the opposite of
Yeah, they're totally backwards. You know, and I tell him about that now. You know, then when I started doing the car stuff, he's like, "Oh, I always knew that you were a car guy." It's like I used to hide my cars from him. He's like, "You're out there with that Corvette." Dad was a cop, see, so the hot rodder and the cop.
And he was telling you to focus on your music.
Oh yeah.
That is just backwards.
Oh yeah.
Good for you, Mr. David. Is it Mr. David?
Yes.
Okay. Good for you. Go ahead.
Oh, that's a whole nother battle, you know, of just being true to yourself.
Well, sure.
And the thing is, I couldn't fight it.
Yeah.
The car thing it had to come out.
It was in there.
And, you know, I tried to hide it or whatever, and it came out, you know, like that story. And so anyway, when we were putting that together, when I showed up for that audition, that a friend of mine told me about, I didn't even read the paper. He said, "Man, check out Sunday's paper. They're asking for a host for this truck show."
Oh my gosh. That's how it happened.
So I rolled in there. Fortunately, I knew how to do an audition, and I showed up, and there were thousands of people. This was a national TV show. And they were all professional actors. "Well, you know, Johnny, I think I'm going to do this."
Yeah.
And they were like, "We want a real car guy."
They weren't looking for that.
No, and so
And there you were.
The first thing they did, they said, "Okay, what have you built?" And I had this whole portfolio of stuff I'd done for years. They said, "Have you ever..."
They really asked you that?
Oh, yeah.
So they wanted a legit builder.
Yeah, and I showed up in my old Jeep truck. Out in the parking lot, they're like, "Oh, this guy's the guy."
Oh my goodness.
And then they were like, "Have you ever been on camera before?" And I had a couple reels of some commercials I'd done or whatever.
Yeah.
They said, "Have you ever written and produced or anything like that?" And I was like, "Well, I've written stuff at Opryland, and I've been involved in this."
You were a dream for them. You were it.
It was the
amazing.
preparation and opportunity coming together.
Yeah.
So, and I try to tell people, it's like, listen, if you don't take advantage of the situation to learn something, then you miss that next step that God might have for you.
Right, exactly.
Because there's so many people, even when I was doing the truck show, I almost turned it down because I'm not just a truck guy. I was like, "Oh, I don't want to do just trucks."
Right.
But it was like, this is an opportunity to not only become a better builder, a better car person, but also learn the television skills.
Well then what would you say if as you introduce yourself to people now, today, what do you say? "I'm Stacey David blank." What is your title, do you say?
I don't know.
Are you host?
I let them tell.
Are you host? Are you mechanic? What are you? Like, I'm really curious because I just heard you describe the convergence, really the divine convergence of two worlds. But I would say you're a TV host. Is that correct?
Oh, that's one aspect of it. Yeah.
That's one
Absolutely.
aspect, but I'm thinking that's your...
But I also actually build and design the cars.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so, and I'm a musician, you know, so I just let people tell me what they think I am.
Okay, all right. Well, on that note, we will be right back with Stacey David, Jack of all trades.
I like that.
Hi, I'm Laura Harris-Smith, inventor of Quiet Brain Essential Oil Blend. You know, if you would have told me 2 years ago when I was mixing that very first little bottle that we would have thousands of customers from all over the world and that we'd have to quadruple our staff to keep up with the demand produced by our international TV infomercial, I'm not sure I would have believed you. And if you told me I'd be hearing regular testimonies of improved sleep, reduced stress, migraine relief, even help with other neurological challenges like seizures, PTSD, tremors, muscle spasms, even anxiety, well, I probably would have cried. And sometimes when I'm reading a Quiet Brain testimony, I do. But if you would have told me 1 year ago when we introduced our Quiet Brain Variety Gift Box that it would become the biggest selling item on our online store at quietbrainoil.com, I would have said, I believe it. The reason is because I created the gift box to be the perfect combination of all of our Quiet Brain products. The oil itself for topical use on the skin that contains only certified pure oils that can cross the blood-brain barrier and bring speedy relief and neurological support. And our aromatherapy line with our Quiet Brain shampoo and conditioner, candles, inhalers, all of which use the nasal passages to gain direct access to the limbic brain, which is the emotional center of the brain. So whether you need to use Quiet Brain topically or aromatherapeutically, the Quiet Brain gift box has everything that you need. And now we've given our gift box an upgrade without increasing the price. It now comes with our satin Quiet Brain Sleep Eye Mask. Just put a few drops of oil on the nose guard and you're on your way to enjoying a good night's sleep. And it all comes packaged in a beautiful gift box and delivered to the destination of your choice or sent to you so you can use it for 7 different gifts or keep a few for yourself. When sold separately, the items in the box are $160, but you're getting it for $135. That's a $25 savings, meaning that you're getting the nasal inhaler and the shampoo and conditioner for free. The Quiet Brain gift box comes with 1 Whisper Quiet Nightlight diffuser with 16 color options and intermittent mist options, 1 dropper bottle of Quiet Brain, 1 Quiet Brain nasal inhaler, 1 Quiet Brain candle, the satin sleep eye mask, and your healing shampoo and conditioner. And remember, both are color safe, aloe enriched, paraben and sulfate free, loaded with wonderful ingredients like unscented coconut oil, olive oil, sugar beet betaine, and of course the Quiet Brain blend with its 8 essential oils like lavender, frankincense, myrrh, sandalwood, and more. We get repeated testimonies of both being used with great effectiveness during headaches for pain relief. So go to quietbrainoil.com to order. Quiet Brain is a great gift for any time of the year, but especially for seasons like these that bring additional stress. Give the gift of health and peace this year. Give the gift of Quiet Brain. Hi everybody, welcome back from the break. I'm Laura, you're watching The Three. We're here with Stacey David. He's America's gearhead. So I'm about to be totally out of my wheelhouse here. No pun intended. But,
that was really good. I like that.
Let's talk cars, because we were joking during the break, you're Mr. Everything. But it was a beautiful story of how your entertainment world converged with your love for trucks and cars. And so you have built some incredible vehicles. Tell us about Copperhead, the V8 Interceptor, Sergeant Rock. Like, I'm sure, I didn't know people name their cars. So what is that? Did you have to for television, or do you just always name all your other children?
No, I grew up with Hot Wheels. And everybody that grew up with Hot Wheels, you didn't, the guys at Mattel, when they came out with Hot Wheels, they were brilliant because they put a name to the cars.
Yes,
so you didn't just trade the blue car for the orange one.
That's right.
You traded the whipped creamer for the Jackrabbit Special.
Okay.
And you knew those names, and it was like, oh, well, that one, yeah, that sucks. Nobody wants that.
Interesting.
And so that, I always remembered that was important.
Okay.
And as I was growing up, especially when I started doing the show, people would write in and say, hey, that orange truck you were working on. I'm like, no, that's not any good. And so the ones that I tried to build a personality out of the car that people could grasp onto. Now, I don't name every project, just the ones that warrant it, and I can't tell you when and how, it just happens. And so the idea behind Copperhead was I built this street truck, and the idea was to make it look slick and cool like a Copperhead snake, which has no rattles.
Wow.
See, a Copperhead snake has no rattles to warn you. So you could just look at that and go, it's a snake, kind of cool looking. Yeah. And then it bites you when you least expect it.
Right.
So, and it's lethal. So I was like, let me build a truck that looks good, and then I put Chevrolet's first 572 crate engine in it with almost 700 horsepower. Oh my gosh. So it became this incredible street machine, and it captured people's imaginations at just the right time.
Okay, what is this?
Now that's Sergeant Rock.
So before you go on to the others, tell us about this.
Now this one is probably one of the most special because this one started out, I'm a big military supporter, and my dad was military, so I have a real heart for these guys and women, that are involved in the military, what they do. And so Sergeant Rock, I wanted to do something really big. And as in size, I want to do a big truck. And I always loved the World War II half-ton, what we call the slant nose. They only made them one year, 1941. And so I found this one sitting in a field by my dad's house in Bellevue, Idaho.
You just find this 1941 truck sitting out in
I told Dad what I was looking for. And Dad's not a real car guy. He's an enthusiast, but he's not a real expert on them by any means.
Obviously, he told this military cop told you to follow music instead of car. So he finds the truck for you?
Yeah, so he says, well, I think there's one of those down the road in the field.
Oh my gosh,
and I'm like, Dad, it's probably a power wagon, but the chances of it being a 41 slant nose weapons carrier is impossible. Well, I go there, and there it is covered with 6 inches of snow, and it's exactly what it is. And so I buy it. My brother thinks I'm nuts, And I come to find out it's the truck that used to push the snow off the local airport. So I go back to 2 or 3 years old face pressed against the window, looking at that truck. It's probably the reason I love Power Wagons, is that exact truck.
Interesting.
So anyway, I start building it, and I had to put the biggest DOT-approved tire, street legal tire.
What is DOT?
It's just,
Talk second grade to me. I don't know anything.
DOT is Department of Transportation.
Oh, of course.
So in other words, it's street legal.
Got it.
So the tires are 54 inches tall, about 15 inches wide, street legal. Wink, wink.
54 inches tall?
Yes.
I'm 62 inches tall, so how would I get in a truck like this?
Oh yeah, you got to crawl up the tire because there's no ladders on it. I didn't want to put any of that goofy stuff on there.
Oh my goodness.
So it had to have the right look. But anyway, in tying it into the military, it's got twin 50 caliber machine guns in the bed.
Okay.
That are replicas. I originally had some originals. That's another story. But we tied it in with the Memphis Belle, the B-17 aircraft.
Yeah.
And I tied it in with a bunch of military groups. You know, when I was finishing it up, I had a chance to go to France and to go to Normandy Beach.
Okay.
And I pulled 7 stones off of Omaha Beach to make a cross that goes with it. That was a 70-year reunion.
That's amazing.
So there's just a bunch of stuff tied in with it, but everything about it is a tribute to the military and the fact that I really wanted to make the point that we are a Christian nation. No matter what people say, we can't get away from that.
No, we can't.
And the thing is, when you do research on our military and other militaries that have ever existed, there's one thing that's really different. If you talk Romans, Greeks, whatever, they all tried to survive to fight another day. So when things got bad, it's like, listen, all I have to do is outrun you and I'm going to survive. Well, the American thing is different. We are the first culture where a person will say, listen, I will die in your place.
Oh, yeah.
And you go on and live another day. And when you think about that, and we do that all the time. Yeah. No man left behind, whatever. The guy jumping on a grenade, that doesn't happen in other cultures. That's very uniquely American. Where did that come from? Well, that's what we're taught.
And you grew up in a military household that obviously gave you that appreciation.
Oh, yeah.
For that.
And, you know, like I said, and I grew up in a very Christian-based background. So it's like you could see the correlation between God giving his life for us and us giving our life for another person is right there. And so that was really important to bring that out with that particular project.
Why didn't we do this show at that truck? What's the truck's name?
Sergeant Rock.
That's right. Why didn't we do it there with me trying to climb up into the truck? That would have been amazing.
Well, we can come out there and do it. Listen, oh yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if anybody wants to see that. I certainly don't. Not in these. But anyway.
Oh no, you'd have to take those off.
Guys, stick around after the break. We've got more with Stacey David.
Neuromatics Oil is a family of therapeutic-grade patented oil blends created by nutritionist and author Laura Harris Smith. Invented for her own lifelong journey for neurological health, Quiet Brain now helps those worldwide who suffer from insomnia, migraines, anxiety, seizures, tremors, and more. Quiet Brain contains oils like frankincense, myrrh, lavender, sandalwood, and others. Next, Happy Brain is a bright mood-lifting citrus blend and contains oils like lemon, lime, clementine, spearmint, and more. Users say it combats depression and even aids in weight loss. Next is Sharp Brain, Laura's Focus Blend, also used to improve cognitive memory issues with oils like coffee, cinnamon, vanilla, clove, and others. Each $69.95 bottle is a 10-week supply if used daily, or about $1 a day. And right now, buy 2 bottles and get the third one free, and get a free eye mask using the promo code on your screen at neuromaticsoil.com or at 1-855-784-3827. That's 1-855-QUIET-BRAIN.
I'm naturopathic Dr. Laura Harris Smith, and if you'll give me 10 days, Give It to God and Go to Bed can help you stress less, sleep better, and dream more. There are even links inside to my free 10 Days to Deeper Sleep and Dreams program and 10 Goodnight videos. Can you close your eyes and just still listen to me? The whole book takes place in your bedroom, and with chapter titles like The Junk Under Your Bed, The Treasures in Your Bedroom, and The Monsters in Your Closet. Give It to God and Go to Bed helps you learn to rest and hear God speak in dreams. Take back your sleep and dreams, my friend, with Give It to God and Go to Bed. Hi everybody, I'm Laura. You're watching theTHREE. We're back with Stacey David. Now listen, if you're in America, if you're in Canada, 16 million people all over the world, and not only that, his YouTube channel. Listen, this guy he's keynoted car shows and all over the place. I am interested, though, in this segment, introducing you to the heart behind everything we've heard so far. I actually now want to tell you that he's also an author. So is there anything you don't do? But you're going to see, because of this book and what it is, we're going to meet really the real Stacey David and his heart. You've heard about all the things he can do, but tell us why you do it. And before we get into the book, just tell us, if you would, every show, okay, you're talking about trucks, you're doing all that. At what point do you, it sounds to me like it's a parable show, like you just bring some kind of message home.
Yeah.
Is that the way this works?
You know, it kind of.
Like along the way, not that there's a sermon at the end, but is there like
it's
just along the way, and little life lessons, trinkets that they can learn and build their own life, not just build a car, but build their own life.
You know, it's more subtle than that, but it's one of those things where nobody's encouraging young men to get out there and learn skills and do something. And, you know, and it's always been important to me because I love the automotive industry.
Yeah.
And I want people to experience what I've experienced. And I did not have a lot of support with that. Like I said, I was, you know, when I was growing up, mechanics were just one step up from the village idiot.
Yeah.
In a lot of people's mind. No, really, and the people
No, I
treated you that.
understand.
So I hid that, and I fought that.
Okay.
You know, to where, you know, when I was growing up, probably the same time you were, I mean, success for a young guy was wearing an Izod shirt and driving a BMW.
Yes.
And being a doctor, lawyer, or computer programmer.
You are right.
And it's like a car guy, you know, you're a grease monkey, you're a moron. It's like, surely you're smarter than that. I had people actually say that, you know, when I was in high school. And so anyway, I want to encourage these guys. It's like, listen, go out, learn a skill. If you're not a college person, don't go. I didn't. I went 1 year and dropped out. You know, and I was doing a thing one time, speaking at a thing, and it was at a college.
Okay.
And I was like, you know, I dropped out after my first year of college, and you could hear a gasp in the room, like I just said that I had a drug problem or something. You know, and actually the one lady stepped up and she goes, oh, no, he's not saying he wasn't smart enough to go to school. And I said, please sit down. Let me explain it. It's like I found out real quick that was not where I learned, and that was not what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And I found what I wanted to learn. Now I continue to learn every day. I continue to work and get better at everything I do. And if you ever quit learning, you're done.
I think you're exactly right. Let me ask you a question. We were not going to go here. I have 3 sons. I have 8 grandsons.
Wow.
Are you as fed up with I am with this male toxicity, toxic masculinity?
Oh, yeah.
You said you like to encourage young men.
Yeah.
That is huge these days.
Yeah.
Because everybody, it's like they're being made to feel like they can't be men.
Yeah.
Or they have to be some gender neutral version of a man.
I hate that.
So then you've got guys, young and old.
Yeah.
And the message that's resonating with them is
Be a guy. Be a guy.
Be a guy.
And be
I love that,
and be a
actually.
real guy.
Yeah.
And show them what a real guy is. You know, teach them the integrity and teach them to keep their word and
That's
teach them
amazing.
to do a good day's job for a good day's pay. You know, and teach them these things
love
that are missing.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, listen, you know, one of the big things I talk about on the show all the time is don't do something bad.
Right.
Learn to do something good. Don't just hack it. You know, do it right. Learn the skills.
And then that segues into this. Tell us about the purple bicycle, because this little guy wanted to be everybody else. This is such a great book. Tell us about it.
I am so glad you like that. Because,
I do
you know,
like it. I'm going to share it with my grandkids.
I'm glad that you...
And I can't, it's like wanting to stay in my hands. So.
Well, the idea behind the purple bicycle, now I don't know if it was the same for girls, but guys growing up, you guys will all relate to this. The neighborhood, everybody had a different bicycle.
Yes.
And your personality kind of fit the bike. You know, the fast kid had the 10-speed, you know, and the rough and tumble guy had the BMX bike and all that
my
kind of thing.
basket had flowers, and I had little swirlies all over my handles, and you know.
And a guy wouldn't be caught dead on that bike.
No.
Because it was a girl's bike.
That's right.
You know, and that was that kind of thing. So I was like, why don't I write a story about a bicycle that has a problem with his color, and he thinks that the solution is that he's the wrong color.
Wait, when was this written?
Long before all the color issues.
I was going to say, so then you just really, you have your ear to God's chest and his heart. he seems to give you secrets and tell you things and give you ideas ahead of time, like you're a forerunner.
Yeah.
It really, I had said earlier you had a pastor's heart, but you may have, you're a teacher. I think you're prophetic in some senses. Like you really are able to encourage people right where they are. The reason I like this book is because the Little Purple Bicycle, he goes through all these different, he wants to be the red bike.
Yeah.
He wants to be the blue bike. I'm not going to spoil it for you.
Yeah.
But I love how you bring it around at the end. And he goes through all of those phases.
Yeah.
I mean, he tries all of it. But in the end, he has to be himself.
Yeah. And the thing that was so important to me to bring out is every time a person starts looking at other person's gifts, thinking, oh, I wish I was that person. I wish I could sing like that. I wish I could do that. They're overlooking their own gifts because they don't value them. And he didn't value his own gifts until he realized, oh my gosh, I actually have a gift. And everybody else could see it,
Yes.
which is always the case with us in life. People can look at you and say, man, you are so gifted in this area. And most times people will go, no, I'm not. No, I would never do that.
Right.
But if I could sing like that person.
Yeah. Oh, we all play the comparison game.
Oh, yeah.
But you just told me that you didn't really teach, but teaching is in everything you do. Everything you do, everything you've sat here and described to me today is you're leaving people with nuggets for how to build their lives. No, so
that makes me like Little Red Riding Hood.
Yeah. Well, the coach that you had in high school, it says there's no such thing as luck and opportunity. What?
It's when preparation meets opportunity.
Preparation. Okay, so my husband had a coach in high school. Same thing.
Yeah.
He would say, "You're the master of your own destiny," and it was like a lot for a young kid to hear, but it's the truth, and they need to be told that.
Yeah.
You know, people our age need to be told that.
Absolutely. And the thing is, going back to toxic masculinity, that coach to this day would be considered to be, one of those coaches, because he was brash, he was loud, and he made you work for that. But as a young boy, that's what you wanted. You wanted his approval.
Yep.
And you'd fight like crazy. He looked at me, and I wanted to be a linebacker. And he said, to be a linebacker for me, you have to be able to bench press X amount of weight. You have to run the 40 in this speed, and then you might have a shot. And the first thing I did, I was hitting the weight room, and I knew what to do, and I made it because I wanted that. He gave me something to work for, and he probably didn't like me at all. You know, it's not about that. It's about somebody pushing you and encouraging you that way.
Where can they get this?
They can get that right on our website. It's gearstv.com or staceydavid.com.
And where can they see Gears?
They can see Gears on MAV TV, that's MAV TV, which is a motorsports network.
Yeah.
Motor Trend, which is also car related. And then, of course, we're on YouTube. We're on Amazon Prime. I have a restoration series on Amazon Prime. And I have several new books coming out.
I have never met someone who
too.
is so versatile in so many things, and yet you're just the salt of the earth. You're the real deal.
Thank you.
You
I
really
feel the
are.
same way about you. It's so nice to meet you.
Come back and see us sometime.
Thank you.
All right, everybody, another great episode of The Three. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.